new chapter for Catholics and a historic moment in the Catholic Church. For the first time, an American has been elected Pope. Reactions from a local Catholic school straight ahead. And slowing things down in Augusta, why commissioners are making it easier to get speed humps installed. As your news at 11 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thank you for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins with white smoke billowing from the Sistine Chapel earlier today, signifying a new pope elected to lead the Catholic Church. Hannah McDonald spoke with a local Catholic school teacher about what this means to him and his students.
Robert Prevost, the newly named successor to Pope Francis, was born in Chicago, making him the first American pope in history. A bishop out of Charleston says he thinks the new pope took the name Leo XIV because he will follow the leadership and thinking of Leo XIII, who was recognized for his social doctrines of the church.
With the social doctrine of the church, with the gospel, he was able to communicate with the rest of the world, especially facing the difficulties of his time. And one of them was to care for the workers.
Joseph Levert is a teacher at Aquinas High School. He tells me he and his students watched as the new pope was announced.
Everybody was curious, so have a big screen attached in my room, and so we went live to Rome and sat there and waited and watched the bands march in, and then the various representatives of the military, and then out he comes.
With approximately 1.4 billion Catholics in the world, Levert says being the Pope is a massive role to fill.
He has to take the wants, needs, desires of each one of those countries, cultures, and so forth, as well as, or most importantly, how are we to respond to the call of Christ in this day and age? And that's not easy.
Levert says he is happy with the choice and looks forward to seeing what this pope will do in the future. In Augusta, Hannah McDonald, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Time now for a check of the weather. Here's our chief meteorologist, Jennifer Trump.
Well, Jenny, it was mostly dry today, but you can see now we have a few storms firing up around Clarksville Lake. As we zoom in here, you can see some lightning strikes in Lincoln County, McCormick County, and some light showers along I-20 in McDuffie County as well. So this is just the beginning of more storms we'll see develop as we head into the overnight hours. And these storms tend to dump a lot of heavy rain over a small area, and that's what happened this morning as well. We picked up on around 3 inches in Saluda County with a storm that came through. So that just goes to show that some places that see thunderstorms will get a whole lot more rain than others, such as Edgefield, just at 0 inches today. And that will really change our rainfall totals as we go into the next few days, depending on where you are. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam at SRP Park showing a nice dry night here in town. The Green Jackets game luckily stayed dry, but there was a storm over in Aiken County just outside of the game today. Our high today was 85 degrees near average. Our low was also near average at 59. It's a much warmer night by around 5 to even 13 degrees. Our temperatures are sitting in the 70s still. 75 in Evans, 70 in Allendale, 73 in Louisville. Aiken, you're at 68, 71 in Crawfordville, and 72 in Waynesboro. Dew points are high in the mid to upper 60s and even some spots at 70, allowing those storms to develop with plenty of moisture in the air. It's partly cloudy right now, and to the north of us, we have a severe thunderstorm watch, so it's possible that could get extended into our area, with the storms continuing until around 6 a.m. More details on that coming up, but back to you, Jenny.
All right, Jenna, thank you. Columbia County Sheriff Clay Whittle is responding with gratitude to the community support showered upon the deputies who risk their lives every day to serve and protect. In a statement, Sheriff Whittle said, "I would like to humbly express my sincere gratitude for the outpouring of love and concern shown to the deputies, jailers, communications officers, and civilian employees of the Columbia County Sheriff's Office following the death of Deputy Brandon Sykes and the wounding of Deputy Gavin White. He thanks the community for reaching out in various ways, but he says it was the level of care and concern our Blue family experienced from Columbia County, the CSRA, and literally across the country that was beyond anything we could have imagined. New information tonight in the arrest of a Waynesboro man following a deadly crash Monday in Augusta. Lee Ernest Jones is charged with vehicular homicide and failure to yield in the crash that killed 8-year-old Camden Poole Monday afternoon. Deputies say he was turning left from Peach Orchard onto Tobacco Road when he pulled in front of an oncoming car. According to an incident report, Jones told investigators he was following the car in front of him and that he had a green arrow. The other driver also told police she had a green light. Investigators reviewed video evidence of the crash and determined that Jones did not have the green arrow. Speed humps are showing up in more Augusta neighborhoods, and now the city is making a change to the policy, a change that could make getting the traffic slowing devices easier. George Escala has the story.
It's something most residents on Pepper Ridge Drive agree on. Drivers need to slow down.
I've seen several wrecks at that stop sign right there. So again, just speeding. I've seen kids coming, playing on their bikes and stuff, and people just speeding by.
To slow down the cars, Pepper Ridge is petitioning for speed humps like those in other neighborhoods. Pepper Ridge needed 51% of the property owners to sign a petition. But that can create an issue if the home is rented.
There were several houses where there was no one there, and then it was hard to find the homes.
As commissioners continue to get requests for speed humps, they are making changes to policy. Now 51% of those living on the street must sign the petition, even if they don't own the home.
That should have been a no-brainer doing this process in the beginning with the previous policy. I think it benefits those who actually live on the street.
In the past, if the owners could not be found, those houses were not counted for or against, even if they were rented.
You had less signatures that you needed, but it was difficult for the community representatives that try to gather these signatures to try to figure out, well, who's a property owner, who isn't. So this should definitely help them in that regard.
The more people you can get to sign it, whether it's a renter or not, it's still speeding. So it's going to hit the speeder, whether that person renting or that person just affects your property owner.
Neighborhoods want speed humps to slow down traffic, and this new policy may speed up the process. In Augusta, George Escala, WJBF, News Channel 6.
The city of Augusta has a new historical state marker honoring a trailblazer. Today's ceremony was held at Harmony Baptist Church on Hopkins Street. It's for the late Reverend Dr. William Jefferson White Sr. He was a religious and civil rights leader who lived most of his life in Augusta. He wore many hats, like starting the Augusta Institute, now known as Morehouse College in Atlanta. A public history class at Augusta University wrote the first drafts of this marker nomination back in 2023. Columbia County Commissioners are making some changes to the county's library system. A proposal would have taken the county out of the state library system altogether, which caused concern among some people who live there. Columbia County says the move from the greater Clarks Hill Library region to a single county region is to have better autonomy to address specific needs and preferences for their residents. But some feel politics is being brought into the library, which could cause certain books to be removed or moved. The library will still receive state funding and have access to state library system resources.
We've had a lot of discussions about guidelines for our libraries and placement of books in our libraries and those sort of things, and we just felt like it was important to give Columbia County the opportunity to proceed with those guidelines the way we saw fit.
A county spokesperson says Columbia County has already received necessary state approval, so the move will be effective January 1st. Tomorrow, the 7 p.m. news is preempted. Instead, we ask you to join us as WJBF honors the area's top teachers. Brad and I host the Golden Apple Gala, where the teachers we've been spotlighting all school year will get their night on stage. That's tomorrow night at 7, right here on News Channel 6. Coming up, Boss Hog begins tomorrow. We'll tell you what you can expect at the cook-off after Jenna's forecast. And I'll tell you what you can expect weather-wise at the cook-off right after this break.
All right, so let's begin.
All electric today. Get epic discounts up to 75% off from electric. electronics to home decor to everything in between. It's a new deal every week. Just scan the QR code or enter WJBF.com and click on Marketplace to start saving now. Something about the morning makes you feel good now. You know that I love you. Good morning, Augusta. The Live Viper 6 Skyview Network, sponsored by Terry Lambert Hyundai. Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
Welcome back. It was a mostly dry Thursday for us, but here's a photo I took right outside of WJBF around 7:30 this evening. Notice the storm cloud here, a pretty significant cloud. I saw a lot of your own viewer photos as well. This storm was spotted even as far south as Johnson County, and this was a storm in Aiken County, a very small one at that, but it made for a really nice sunset. And here's a snapshot from radar at 8:15 p.m. when the storm was the strongest. There was some lightning right along I-20, but for just a very small portion of I-20 in between Burnett Town and Aiken, and the storm faded very quickly, but the cloud looked fantastic, and I'm sure a lot of you saw that all across the CSRA this evening. Right now on Live Viper 6 radar, you can see some storms firing up north of I-20, and we also have these polygons out to the west of us indicating severe or strong storms. So a lot of instability around. It's possible that we could see more storms develop, especially north of I-20 over the next few hours. So a lot of lightning here just to the north of Lincolnton, all around Clarksville Lake and McCormick as well. This storm in particular is strengthening, so we'll be keeping a close eye on that one. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam now at Washington Road showing dry conditions. We're sitting pretty comfortable at 71 degrees, a south wind of 5 miles per hour. And you can see here on satellite and radar, we still have some clear conditions. And as for our severe thunderstorm watch, that's still to the north of us until midnight. After that, there's a possibility it could get extended into parts of the CSRA. So we have this low pressure system with a cold front out to the west of us with more strong storms along it. And here in the CSRA, we have more clouds moving into our northwestern counties. Temperatures are in the upper 60s through low 70s. And you can see tomorrow is going to be another warm day like it was today, up to 84 by the time of the start of the Boss Hog Cook-Off. Now, by the time the gates are closing, or when the event is closing, you can see there will be the possibility of some isolated showers and storms again, but it's definitely not going to be a washout. So just like today, only pop-up activity here and there. Chance of rain is just 30%. Rain chances increase this weekend, and then our rainiest day will be Monday, and that rain even continues into next Wednesday. Our primary threats tonight, though, will be the gusty winds and hail. Highest threat of severe weather anywhere north of Burt County, but with the latest model runs, a lot of this looks to be staying really in Richmond County towards the north. So you can see here our future cast at midnight showing those storms all across the northern half of the CSRA. Then by 3 a.m., some of that gets down towards Burt County and then pushes off towards the east. So we're already starting to dry out by around 6 a.m. Few lingering showers into the afternoon, but notice Friday is looking pretty good other than a pop-up storm here and there. And then more rain moving in Friday night into our Saturday. So Saturday does look pretty wet for us with on and off light showers. Then as we go into Sunday and the rest of the start of next week, we're going to see the possibility of some heavier downpours, and that could lead to some flooding. It's all because of this low that will be sitting in the area, bringing waves of rain over and over again across the southeast. So we'll be watching this very closely over the next few days. Once again, this could end up leading to some flooding concerns with rainfall totals between 2 to 4 inches and isolated higher amounts possible. That 10-day forecast is showing the rain finally going away next Thursday as we heat up into the low 90s. Now back to you, Jenny.
Thanks, Jenna. Tomorrow, the Boss Hog Cook-Off kicks off in Waynesboro. It's the 19th year for this event. The Boss Hog Cook-Off is a state championship competition. Cook teams will compete for a share of more than $11,000 in prize money. There's also music and fun for the whole family.
Sponsored by the Kansas City Barbecue Association. It's just a big deal. And again, they've been doing it in Waynesboro for the last 19 years. The gates open on Friday at 5 o'clock. That ticket will get you into the gate, and it'll have all kind of activities going on. It has access to all the food trucks, all the different activities going on. There'll be one of the largest musical chairs competition in the world going on. It's just a lot of fun.
The Boss Hog Cook-Off is on Schwank Way in Waynesboro. We'll have live reports from your hometown Waynesboro starting with News Channel 6 at 4 o'clock. Coming up, a new law that will allow officers to pull over South Carolina drivers who they believe are on their phones. The cell phone crackdown on the road still ahead. But first, the winning numbers for tonight's South Carolina Lottery: Pick 3, 889, and the Pick 4 winning numbers tonight: 1527. Fireball 0. We'll be right back. It's time for the $8.99 Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. Your chance to get a great haircut at a limited time price. Save time when you check in on our app. But hurry, the sale ends soon. The Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. It's gonna be great. Every day, ordinary people in the CSRA do extraordinary things to serve our community. Each month, News Channel 6 recognizes these outstanding volunteers with the Giving Your Best Award. Do you know an everyday hero who goes the extra mile to help others? Nominate them for the Giving Your Best Award by visiting WJBF.com and filling out the entry form.
Sponsored by Science Co., Beat Law Augusta, Security Federal Bank, and News Channel 6.
Gerald Jones Honda wants to buy your Central only on News Nation.
9 to 5 in the rear view, and now happy hour has arrived. Let's lead this man to his $6 Popeyes Big Box. That's worth crunch balance.
Love that chicken from Popeyes. First time that when I see him, a lot of stuff came into my mind because I wasn't prepared at all. I know the first 3 months of his life were really important, and I wanted to be there all the time for him. First time he was like, Daddy, Daddy. That was one of his first words. He grew up so quick. He just surprised me every day. He's really smart. I really think he can be an astronaut, president. But I must support him for wherever he wants to be. If he want to be a photographer, musician, whatever. As a father, I guess you don't focus on you. I put himself first. That's what a dad does.
He's Mayberry Sheriff without a gal.
Hello, gal.
Will Andy Gorkorton with Bachelorette number 1.
She's a real nice lady, Paul.
Number 2.
Oh, that girl can do everything.
Or number 3.
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it.
Play along in the game of love.
Just think, one of them might be the next Mrs. Andy J.
On the Andy Griffith Show. Weeknights starting at 8 on MeTV. WJBF 6.2. Kick off your Saturday mornings with the most trusted team in local sports. Preview all of the weekend action and recap all of the big plays with Gianna Cephalou and Gabriel Snowball. 6 Sports Saturday, Saturday mornings at 9:30 on News Channel 6. Weather headlines on News Channel 6. Brought to you by Hickson Roofing. Live Viper 6 mobile app. Download it today. Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
No place you'd rather be if you're a South Carolina softball fan than in Athens, Georgia Thursday night for the SEC softball tournament. 7-seeded Gamecocks taking on the 2-seed Texas A&M Aggies in quarterfinal action. The Aggies jumped out to a 4-1 lead thanks to a 4-run bottom second. Gamecocks tried to chip away. They were down just 4-3 on their way into the 5th frame, but A&M pulls away and they take a 12-4 victory over South Carolina Thursday night. Let's shift over to high school sports where Greenbrier girls soccer played for a berth in the Class 5A state championship game. They're on the road Thursday night to take on Northgate in Newnan, and despite a valiant effort, the Wolfpack drop a 3-1 decision to Northgate, which punches the Vikings ticket to a state title matchup either against Pope or Roswell. But meanwhile, the Wolfpack stellar season ends with a 17-3 mark. That Greenbrier senior class, how about this, 64-8-1 over the last 4 years? Not a bad stretch. Now, there are dozens of local track and field athletes competing in the 4 different GHSA state championship meets across Georgia this weekend, starting Friday, and Laney's got a pair of runners poised for gold. Juniors Evan Osias and Cedric Brown II will be at East Jackson High School in Commerce, Georgia this weekend, competing for state championships in the 200, 400, 800, 16, and 3,200 meter runs. It'll be Osias tackling those longer distances while Brown competes in the shorter. Both runners took home top finishes during the qualifying sectional meets, and Osias won a state championship in cross country for Laney during the fall. Now, Coach Tracy Gamble is ready to see exactly how his talented runners fare on the state's fastest track.
The sky's the limit for both of them. Every now and then you meet athletes who are talented and don't work hard, and just the opposite, work hard with little talent. We're blessed to have a good mixture with these two guys. God has blessed them with some great talent, and they work hard. They don't take it for granted.
Now, they've got more to say. Check out the story on how their performance is actually making track popular at Laney High School on our 6 Sports Saturday show right here at 9:30 a.m. Saturday morning. Now, in coaching news, the Augusta Christian Lions have a new head football coach leading their program. Brandon Compton comes from Lakeway Christian Academy in Tennessee, where he served as an assistant coach. He's also served as offensive and defensive coordinators, along with his most recent role as an associate head coach. He's led multiple teams to playoff appearances. The Lions had a 4-7 campaign last season. They'll start the 2025 year with a matchup against Lincoln County on August 15th. And drive, chip, and putt season has now officially arrived. Local qualifying kicked off last week in states like Texas, California, Idaho, and Iowa. One qualifying event coming up in the CSRA is going to be at Old Barnwell on June 16th. The registration closes 5 days before each event, so you got to be sure to sign up before the deadline. Drive, chip, and putt is an event that it happens on Sunday at Augusta National prior to the Masters. This past year, there were 2 local participants, Shane Strickland and Aiken and Colton Johnson from Augusta. That's it for sports. We'll be back after this.
Is your plumbing giving you...
Waynesboro has fun, y'all.
At WJBF's Television Park Productions, our mission is to provide local businesses with top quality video and digital content at an affordable price. With decades of experience, our award-winning creative team will guide you step by step through the creative process, resulting in a successful marketing message for your brand. Over the years, we've helped hundreds of local businesses expand their voice. Visit WJBF.com/creative to find out how we can do the same for you.
We do have some storms firing up north of I-20, and here in McCormick and Lincoln County, we now have a special weather statement until midnight. This is for the possibility of 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-inch size hail. We have the threat of severe weather overnight as well until around 4 a.m. So I'll be watching this closely for you over the next couple of hours, and be sure to check on Facebook for any weather updates, and we will go live if needed. But this is for the threat of hail and gusty winds tonight. We're not expecting a tornado threat, and as we go into Mother's Day weekend, we will continue to have the chance of rain, and that could eventually lead to some flooding concerns early next week.
And that's our report for now, everybody. Thank you for watching. Make sure you join our morning team at 4:30. Have a great night.
George Sink Entry Lawyers has the experience to help you get your money faster.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card, swag for staff, new equipment powered by gig speeds, or a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with the $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Fish, delish, fish, delish. Giant white fish, it's Cajun. Hungry taste, you crave it. And up and aside for $6.99. Captain D's, fish, delish. When we have the food we need, we are at our best.
push further. We rise higher. We unlock our full potential. When we are at our best, we have more to offer the world around us. When we have the food we need, we make our communities stronger. Together, we can help everyone get the food they need to thrive. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.